There are forces more powerful than the will of the gods, my son.
In today's video, I am taking you guys on an adventure where we are going to be diving headfirst into a topic that stirred up debate at Camp Half-Blood for years. Who are the top 10 strongest gods in the Percy Jackson universe? And because I know someone will ask, Percy Jackson himself is not a god, so he's not on this list. But don't worry, he gets plenty of respect elsewhere. We're going deep on Olympian power, breaking down the most formidable immortals Rick Riordan's world has ever seen. We will also be talking a bit about the second season of the Percy Jackson show and its cast, so stick around because you will not want to miss this. Before we get into the video, please hit the like button, smash the subscribe button and ring the bell icon so that you never miss another update from us. And comment down below who you think is going to be in the video. Zeus, king of the gods, master of thunder. Well, obviously, we have to begin with Zeus. As the self-proclaimed king of the gods and ruler of Mount Olympus, Zeus is the ultimate symbol of divine authority in the series. He wields command over the sky, thunder and lightning, unleashing storms that could flatten armies or hurling bolts that cannot be stopped by mortals or most immortals. Beyond the weather, Zeus's authority shapes the rules that bind the other gods and demigods. Even when he makes questionable calls, which is something that we see plenty of times, no one can deny his power. He is the driving force behind multi-god wars, can change the fate of mortals on a whim, and his word is literally law for both Olympus and the earth below. Poseidon, lord of the seas. Poseidon deserves a close second. As the god of the sea, earthquakes, storms, horses, and yes, father to Percy Jackson, Poseidon is nearly Zeus's equal. His trident can shake cities, summon tidal waves, and rearrange the oceans. He commands sea monsters, shapes land through earthquakes, and can create hurricanes to rival anything Zeus can muster in the sky. Not only is he fiercely protective of his own children, but he's shown countless times that he's feared by both mortals and monsters alike. In The Last Olympian, Poseidon holds back the full fury of Typhon, saving Olympus and the world from destruction. His creative control over the earth and the oceans makes him one of the most versatile and dangerous beings around. Hades, king of the underworld. Hades, often left out of Olympus politics, is easily among the most powerful. As ruler of the underworld, he controls the souls of the dead, immense underground wealth, and can wield shadows, ghosts, and fear. Hades' power is not only supernatural, but psychological. In Heroes of Olympus, gods and mortals alike dread reminding themselves that everything ends up in his realm. He can banish enemies with a thought, summon the Furies, and generate earthquakes similar to Poseidon. His helm of darkness can hide him completely, even from the eyes of the other gods. Hades generally stays out of the regular drama, but when he acts, the cosmos shifts in response. Hera, the queen and shaper of fates. Hera, who is the goddess of marriage, families, and queenship, might not start battles, but she is a shrewd manipulator with the power to shape the destinies of gods and mortals alike. In the Heroes of Olympus books, Hera, also known as Juno to the Romans, orchestrates complex schemes to ensure the survival of Olympus, even though it came at a great cost to herself. Though not as destructive as her brothers, her influence over the fabric of mortal and divine society is colossal. She is also able to project herself in various ways, manipulate minds, and is respected and sometimes feared by her fellow Olympians. Underestimating Hera has been the downfall of plenty of mythological protagonists, both in ancient texts and in Percy's adventures. Athena, goddess of wisdom and strategy. If raw destructive power were the only criterion, Athena might not outrank some other gods, but her combination of genius-level mind, battle strategy, and magical wisdom solidifies her status as one of the strongest. Athena's children are among the most respected at Camp Half-Blood for good reason. She creates objects of divine power, shapes the outcomes of wars, and uncovers secrets that most gods wouldn't even detect. When direct intervention is needed, Athena can conjure protective magic, manipulate fate, and outwit foes among the immortals and mortals alike. Her influence on the course of history has been immense, both in the myths and in Riordan's modern world. Apollo, god of the sun, music, and healing. Apollo's powers stretch wider than most gods. He commands the sun, sure, but he is also the master of music, poetry, prophecy, disease, and healing. Apollo's arrows can heavily damage even the likes of immortals, almost killing them. His gift of prophecy guides heroes on quests, and his music can heal or drive creatures mad. And if you have read The Trials of Apollo, you will know that he is capable of dazzling displays of power, such as summoning plagues, manipulating light, and changing the odds of divine battles. Apollo might sometimes come off as flighty or self-absorbed, but that's part of what makes his moments of serious power even more dramatic. Whether he is saving lives or exterminating monsters, Apollo is one of the gods the others call when things get dicey. Artemis, goddess of the hunt and the wild. Artemis is Apollo's twin and just as formidable. While she tends to avoid large-scale wars, she is the best hunter and archer in any realm, able to bring down monsters that terrify other gods. Artemis commands the hunters, who are a band of semi-immortal warriors, has total command of animals and can move unseen wherever she likes. Her ability to transform her followers into permanent hunters and grant them a state close to immortality is no small feat. Artemis also has control over the moon and night, and she can punish mortals or immortals with curses, transformation, and illusions. Her power is more subtle, but no less frightening for those who challenge her in the wild. Ares, god of war. We know you were waiting for him, and he is finally here. Ares. Ares might lack the finesse of his siblings, but what he brings to the table is sheer destructive force and martial skill. In Percy's first quest, Ares almost overpowers him, and his influence stokes conflicts worldwide. All weapons obey his commands, and his presence can turn even the most peaceful souls into warriors. Ares revels in chaos and bloodshed, but he is also an expert tactician who has ruled entire battlefields with a single shout. While he may not drive Olympus's fate, on any day where fighting breaks out, Ares is the one you want, of course, unless he is on the other side. Hephaestus, Master Forge Master and Fire Lord. Hephaestus, god of fire and the forge, creates the tools and weapons that shape the fate of gods and mortals. His mastery over invention is unparalleled. He is the great mind behind the construction of the palaces of Olympus. He also had a part in creating Zeus's thunderbolts and designed automatons powerful enough to rival monsters. When roused, Hephaestus can unleash volcanic fury, control molten metal, and bend machines to his will. Many overlook his power because he works behind the scenes, but in a fight, his ingenious traps and constructs can defeat even gods. The ring of his forge and the tremors of his anger are legendary. Hermes, the trickster, messenger, and protector. You might think of Hermes as a comic side character, and for many years, so many of us did too. But his powers are deceptively vast. As the messenger god, Hermes alone travels outside all boundaries. He can move between the realms of gods, mortals, and even the underworld without hindrance. He can steal anything, create illusions, manipulate luck, and move at superhuman speeds that outpace even some gods' abilities to comprehend. Famed for being both cunning and compassionate, Hermes' talents in negotiation and persuasion make him essential for preventing and resolving divine disasters. His trickster side can turn the tide in battles or negotiations, and his knowledge of commerce, boundaries, and communication is unmatched. Honourable mentions. With only 10 spots, it is worth tipping the laurel wreath to other Olympians like Demeter, who is the goddess of the harvest, who can unleash famine or bounty on a global scale, and Dionysus, who is the god of wine and madness, who can inspire devotion or drive his enemies insane with a thought. There is also Hestia, the goddess of the hearth. Her power is less destructive but essential to the very fabric of Olympus and mortal society alike, keeping peace between the immortals and binding them to their oaths. So far, we have talked a lot about the gods, and honestly, almost all beings are weaker than them, except a chosen few, of course. But it is not fair to just talk about them and not have a small discussion about our favourite demigod, Percy Jackson.
Hold fast, Mom.
Percy Jackson isn't a god, and that matters. For anyone wondering why Percy Jackson isn't on this list, well, While he is one of the most powerful demigods, as he was able to wound Ares, defeat monsters, and even survive Tartarus, he simply cannot match the raw cosmic scale of the gods. He moves among them, faces down their children, and earns their respect. But there is always a gulf between demigods and true immortals. That is what makes his heroics so impressive and why he succeeds in spite of those odds. Percy Jackson and the Olympians Season 2. What's next? If you are as obsessed as I am with the gods' adventures, you are in for a treat this December. Season 2 of Disney Plus's Percy Jackson and the Olympians hits on December the 10th, 2025, with Walker Scobell returning as Percy Jackson, Leah Savage-Jeffries as Annabeth Chase, and Arian Simadri as Grover Underwood. The new season adapts The Sea of Monsters, throwing our heroes back into mythic danger as they quest for the legendary Golden Fleece to save Camp Half-Blood. The cast is loaded with old favourites and new faces. Charlie Bushnell is back as the complex Luke Castellan. Dior Goodjohn reprises her scene stealing Clarisse LaRue, and Daniel Diemer makes his debut as Tyson, Percy's Cyclops brother. Other new additions include Tamara Smart and Andra Day, hinting at expanded roles for mythological figures we all know and love. Looking ahead, Season 3 might also let us see Levi Chrysopoulos and Olive Abercrombie step into the roles of Nico and Bianca D'Angelo, the mysterious children of Hades, which will undoubtedly be a huge moment for fans of the series. With 8 episodes planned, the stakes are higher than ever, and we will get to see even more of the gods in action, each flexing the massive powers that landed them on this list. Why these gods hold all the power. So there you have it. We have presented to you the Big 10 powerhouses of the Percy Jackson universe, each one capable of shaking worlds and shaping destinies. The gods may not always make the wisest choices, because if they did, then they would not be Greek gods otherwise, but their strength is never in doubt. For every quest Percy faces, always remember, he is navigating a world built, broken, and rebuilt by the beings at the top of this list. So, who is your favourite? Did your pick make it into the top 10? Let me know in the comments how you would shake up these rankings. And stay tuned for the latest on Season 2, because if there is one thing you can count on in Percy's world, it's that the gods will keep finding new ways to blow our minds.